Pretty Rich is what they called them. Yes, Pretty Richie from Fantasy Football World here. Yes, sir. Good Grand Rising, everybody. This is week 15. Yes, sir. We are definitely in the fantasy, deep into the fantasy football playoffs. We had some 3 games last: Colts versus Vikings, the Ravens versus the Browns, and the Dolphins versus Buffalo. I watched each game, man. I was in and out. I was tired last night from working all day, but that's how I go, baby. But I want the gravy and the sauce anyway. The aftermath. The Colts threw that game. They threw that game away. There's no way in the world that they should have lost to the Minnesota Vikings after being up 33 points in the first half. Okay, either way, they lost. Justin Jefferson came for you, had a huge game for his Spanish shoulder, and Christian Kirk. Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins, the quarterback for the Vikings, had a monster game. I think he had like 400 yards passing and 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, something like that. Either way, he boomed for his fantasy owners, which was good to see. Dalvin Cook had a huge game last night, so you guys should be happy with that. Moving forward, I think Dalvin Cook had a 95 yards rushing, and 95-yard touchdown receiving as well. He did awesome. He was good. The Ravens, that was a slow game, even though running back J.K. Dobbins had, I believe, 135 rushing yards. So fantasy owners can be happy about that. For those who put them in the flex or RB3 spot. Hold on, just trying to get my lighting together. Okay, there we go. The Browns, from point of view, and David Njoku did pretty good. He got, I believe, 9 or 10 fantasy points, which is serviceable. But he like I said, it's fantasy football playoffs, so you want your players to boom, obviously, to give yourself the best chance, the best opportunity to win. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to move on to the next game. Deshaun Watson didn't do too good for those who started him as a quarterback too. It's like I said, it was a slow game. It was just drawn out. It was ridiculous. The Browns got the dub. It was, I think, like 13-6 or 13-3, something like that. Either way, the Browns won that game. Now, the game of the night was the Dolphins at Buffalo. They cleared the field of all that snow, which was outstanding. All the Dolphins skill positional players, to include Mostert. Raheem Mostert had a good game. I think he had 135 rushing yards. He didn't get in the end zone, but he still was serviceable. David Tua came through, had almost 300 passing yards and 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. And Tyreek Hill and Waddle came on at the end. Waddle is a beast. He's a warrior because he got hurt. And he came back in that game and put up some nice points for his fantasy owners. So we appreciate that. And, of course, on Buffalo side, yours truly, Josh Allen, he boomed. Dawson Knox had a night. He had like 95 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns. And Josh Allen rushed for 70 yards. And he had respectable numbers in the passing game, and I think he threw for about 3 touchdowns as well. So those of you who had Josh Allen, I'm sure you started him. That was no question. Stephon Diggs, he had a moderate game. I think he had like 6 catches. I think he had like 11 fantasy points, 6 catches, 50 yards, something like that. I don't believe he had a touchdown though. Give me 1 minute to mess with my lighting. Yes, sir. That's right. That was that. Okay. Now I'm going to give you guys the sauce when it comes to anything that I may have missed from my live that I did for you before these games on Saturday. All right, like I said, Magic Mike from the Jets, he's out, and he may be out week 16 as well. So for those of you who are anticipating or hoping that Magic might come back for week 16 for your fantasy playoffs, you better find a better option. Find a different option. Hopefully it's not Zach Wilson. Okay. McCole Hardman, he won't play for week 15. But Kadarius Toney has a better shot to play, so you may want to consider firing up Kadarius Toney as a desperation flex play if you have to. Mitchell reports that Mitchell Trubisky is going to be on a short leash today versus the Panthers. And then there's Mason Rudolph, who will be in the crossfires at a step-in for him in case Mitchell Trubisky falters. I don't think Mitchell Trubisky is going to falter today, though. I think he's going to have a decent game. From a fantasy point of view, he'll be a decent QB2 play for Superflex players. If you're in a one quarterback league, you should not be starting Mitchell Trubisky. Okay. Panthers are a decent defense. They're like middle of the road. But Mitchell Trubisky, I'm not gonna say he's a dual threat quarterback, but he does have legs where they're gonna have to be respected. He's just gonna keep the defense honest. He's got great pass catchers. He's got Najee Harris in the backfield. So he's surrounded by good enough talent where you can feel comfortable starting him as a quarterback too. He may get anywhere from 230 yards passing, one passing touchdown, and maybe 30 yards rushing. Okay, now Deontay Johnson, this helps Deontay Johnson because Trubisky has a strong rapport with Deontay Johnson. So Deontay Johnson is going to get about 7 or 8 targets, may get 6 receptions for like 70 yards, and that touchdown may go to him. Najee Harris, he have a respectable, decent game. He should get you anywhere from 80 to 100 yards rushing, another 3 yards catching. Another three receptions for like 24 yards, and he may get a rushing touchdown. That's the only people in the. And with Pat Freiermuth, he's solid. He has a safe floor with Trubisky. I'd be more excited if Pickett was in there though. So he's going to get anywhere between 4 to 5 looks or targets and maybe 3 receptions for. He's got to be efficient with Trubisky because Trubisky's just not a good quarterback, in my opinion. But you never know. He may fall into the end zone, get you a touchdown, 3 catches for anywhere from about 40 yards. That would be easiest to put that on Pat Freiermuth. All right. Jacoby Myers is set to play week 15 against the Raiders today. So if you have to, you can feel comfortable firing him up with Mac Jones. Mac Jones loves him. He hyper targets Jacoby Myers, so you can go ahead and start him up as a wide receiver 3 or a desperation flex play, depending on how your team is structured. I guess Marquise Brown is expected to play for week 15, so you can go ahead and fire him up against the Broncos if you have to. Like I said, Kyler Murray, the starting quarterback, is out for the rest of the season, so that's going to leave Colt McCoy throwing him the ball. I'm just not excited about that tandem. So if you can find a better option other than Marquise Brown, do so. Plus, the Broncos have a very good defense, run defense and pass defense all around, and they know they have to play good because they got Russell Wilson out and they got Rippey in the backup quarterback playing. So that Denver defense knows that they have to show up if they want to have any shot of winning the game. DJ Moore is expected to go. He's going to play versus the Steelers today. So that's going to leave him as a high-end wide receiver 3 with wide receiver 2 upside. Okay, so you can count him for at least 6 or 7 targets. Sam Darnold targets him a lot. So 6 or 7 targets for him, 4 to 5 receptions. I would say 90 receiving yards and a possible touchdown for DJ Moore. If he can get that, I'll be surprised and I'll be happy with that. Higgins and Boyd are expected to play today. They are versus the Buccaneers. 2 things with that. The Buccaneers have a very, very good defense, and they are still playing to make the real life playoffs. So they're going to take this game serious. Everybody's going to be on full deck. Okay, so that's why you have to be careful with T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd. I mean, they both have Boyd has a finger injury, and T. Higgins has a hamstring injury. So he can go out on the first play. He could be this week's Kyler Murray of last week. Get out there in the first play, run a route, and re-injure his hamstring, or he can get re-injure the hamstring during pregame workout. If you can find a better option other than T. Higgins, please do so. There's just too many negatives against him to be able to go that route and start him with comfort. Ramondre Stevenson of the Patriots, he's expected to play versus the Raiders with that ankle injury. They say it's a good chance to play. Okay. Either way, Damian Harris is out, so I'm looking at Pierre Strong to have a decent game because he showed out last week, and the staff knows what he can do at the NFL stage now as a rookie. So in the event that Ramondre does suit up, that he does pass the pregame workout or whatever, you're going to have to temper your expectations for Pierre Strong Jr. and relegate him to a desperation flex play. Okay, so that's a lot of stuff, a lot of work going on right there. Josh Jacobs is expected to play, so you can fire him as a low-end RB2. A high-end RB2 or low-end RB1 against the Patriots, because the Patriots have a very good defense. Okay, so you want to be mindful of that. And that's all I have for the updates. Like I said, if you look at my other videos that I've done, lives and my shorts, I've given you guys the gravy. I've given you guys the grits and the extra butter. So you guys are up to date. Now you have to keep in mind that for some of the later games, the 4 o'clock games, you have to come back around between 2 and 2:30 to see how these guys do during the pre-game workout. Because, just because they're expected to play this early at 10 o'clock in the morning, things can change. They still have to go through that pre-game workout, and it's a brutal one. So just be mindful of that as well. So like I said, you may see me go live later with my man TD from Fantasy Good Sports. If not, then you'll just see me, on my other quick updates. Okay, so that's what it is right now, and everybody's up to date with that, with the landscape of what's going on in the NFL. If you guys want to contact me, reach out to me. Feel free to join subscribe to my Patreon. I got a Patreon. Everything is listed below on my YouTube channel here. I got a Twitter account. You can follow me, PrettyRichie Fantasy Football World, or PrettyRichie. Very easy to locate. I got a Discord channel, very easy to get in contact with. So feel free to join, like this channel, and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate you guys, and I love you guys, and I wish you guys the best doing fantasy football playoffs, and hope you guys have a great holiday and a great weekend. Love you guys. Yes, sir.